Alright, so today is February 5th of 2023, and a couple of things I've been working on. I'm not sure where I actually left you back here, but in the aft cabin here, I got this bulkhead in here, which is going to be the bathroom. I may have showed you that already. I got the plywood all up on these and screwed in. And I got the decking all screwed down back here too. I was getting tired of listening to these boards creak when I walked across them. So we've got all that taken care of. I was starting to kind of work out how the bunk was going to go in here. And there isn't going to be a real good answer to this, or solution to this, because that bed I've got, like I said, that mattress I've got is 39 inches wide, and maybe I got a little greedy there, and that's going to come out to about here. And it's going to be a little too wide. You know, it would come to something like this here, and it would block off part of the door going back here into the head. So I'll probably have to taper it a little bit. But looking at this now here too, it's you think, well, it's should rest along the tops of those gussets on the frames there, but that's not the case. The real world level looks really different than. Real world level looks a lot different than what it looks like it should be in the back of the boat. That's how I want to say it. So yeah, it's going to be pretty high. Not that I couldn't get into it. I mean, if it's somewhere in here range, not that I couldn't get up into that, but I may have to put a step or something here to get up, make it a little easier to get up on the bed. I don't know for sure yet. It's not going to be quite as bad over here, I don't think, because we're more forward on the boat, and the bed's going to be just a touch lower. But you don't have the step up here to get back there either. So yeah, I don't know for sure. But yeah, this is going all right back here. I'm pretty happy with all this. I got this panel pulled out, which is not permanently attached yet. Yeah, if I'm not careful, I'm going to lose it. But what I was doing back here is I was putting in sensors in, tank level sensors into these tanks. I got these tanks, almost all of them empty. In fact, I had one tank up forward that I was still using. Well, it's for water here in the building, but so I got the sensors in that tank up forward. I put the sensors in this tank back here. And then pumped the water in that was any water that was left at forward, I pumped back here. And this one's a little different in that I got this cleat here to hold it in place, and I couldn't get these lower sensors on the front. I don't think it's going to make any difference, but there's one back over there, one over here. This would be the ground, and that's the first, second, and third sensors. So anyway, I got those in, but I ran into another situation when I was pumping the water back here that gave me the opportunity to look into my water tanks up front when I drilled the holes in there for those sensors. And I didn't like what I saw in there. So you can see I've got 1, 2, 3 water tanks in the gray water tank, and I've got all of my sensors in there now. And I had to put them on this side simply because there was getting too busy on the other side. This is going to be the side where I run more of my wiring, some of the wiring over here. Not that it really matters, but yeah. So if something goes wrong, if I have to access these sensors, I wasn't planning on having access to them here, but if I have to get at them at some point, my guess is I would probably just drill out a smaller access port in here and put one of those little plastics, because this is actually up in the footwell of up there, and it would be in the cab. This would be the bottom of the cabinets or the storage area under there. So I would probably just put a screw in, one of those little round screw in hatches here, and so I could get at this side if I have to. Not that it's that big a deal, but Yeah, anyway. But anyway, so I, like I said, I opened up these tanks and I looked in there when I drilled those 3/8" holes through there. And lo and behold, the water didn't look very good in there. It didn't smell very good in there either. Now, I've been using water out of there. You know, I can use it up there. Then I've got this laundry sink set up down here that's running off of the boat system. And I thought maybe if I was keeping water moving through it, it would help. Of course, I wanted to test everything, you know, so I had to put water in the tanks. But, and quite frankly, the water coming out of the faucets and stuff smells fine. The animals are drinking it. I'm not drinking it, but, you know, I would sanitize it again before I was drinking out of it. But it's my well water, and we've been in a drought here for the last couple of years, pretty bad, and the well's been pretty low, and it's been warm, and so my water might be a little bit contaminated, which I don't drink my well water anymore either for that reason. But so anyway, this water may not have been real great that was going in there. But once it goes through the filter in the boat here, it was coming out just fine. But I still didn't like the idea of scummy buildup in the tanks. So what I've done is I've ordered some access plates. They're 4" which is about as small as I could go and still get a hand or a tool down in there to clean them out. So I'm going to have to cut access hatches above the tanks and from the inside, and have access plates going through the floor there. Where I put those, they'll probably be on this side over here. I'll probably orient them. Be nice to have them in the center of the tanks, but yeah, I need access over here to all this plumbing, you know, if I ever need to do anything with this plumbing. So my guess is when I cut these access ports in here, I'll go just a little bit farther in there so that I can, you know, reach down into the tank and literally clean them out, or get a scrubber in there and then, you know, a shop vac or something to suck up the last of the water and sponge them out and disinfect them and clean them and whatnot. I had hoped to not have to do that, but I can see that's something you're going to want to be able to check those tanks ever so often. And yeah. Now the bad news is, yeah, these access covers that I ordered, they're 1/4" tall, and this one here is all the way up against the floor, as is this one. That's the gray water tank. I'm not worried about that one, but this one's going to be tight. That one's all right, and that one's all right, and the one in the back is obviously all right. So this one tank here, yeah, how am I going to handle that? I suppose I could cut the access hatch to go on there. That's just with just a 1/2" plywood. That would give me that 1/4", you know, to put that access plate in the tank. Either that, or I'm going to have to lower it in here, which wouldn't be a whole lot of fun. Could be done. Certainly could be done, but I'd have to take it all out, and that would mean either taking the sole out inside the boat, or getting them out this way. Yeah, see, this one tank here is going to be just a little snug. Yeah. Of course, I'm going to have to be careful too, cutting out the access plate or the access hatches in the floor, so I don't cut into the top of the tanks too. Yes. I don't know. I got to think these things through before I start making decisions, I guess. But yeah, it's going to have to happen. So whatever form it takes, it's, you know, that's what it's going to be. But yeah, the farther I get along here, the the more I get myself painted into a corner. Maybe need to do some measuring here, but I think I'm all right here. Actually, that tank isn't over the that step up compartment here. That only is going to come to about here, I guess. So that would be fine. I could still cut the access in here to access these sensors, and then get my plate wherever through the rest of the floor for getting into the tank wherever I have to, I guess. But yeah, so I've been doing a few odds and ends, but like I said, more than anything, I spent too much time contemplating and moving snow. Twice this week I spent about a half a day moving snow. So yeah, there's always that. So we need to get access plates put into the tanks, and we need to get the holes cut in the sole to get access hatches put in here so I can access all of this stuff. I don't want to start making those just too terrible big though, but we need to get at the plumbing in here, and we need to be able to get at that, to put an access plate in the tank itself too. Yeah, lovely. Everything on a boat takes 10 times longer than it takes to do anywhere else. You know that by now, don't you? Yeah. But anyway, that's just a little bit of an update. I have been doing some other odds and ends, but I can't think of all the little odds and ends that I've been doing. Actually, I guess I've been starting to write things down. Well, I got the footrest put on the settee. Shower walls are done. The gray water tank discharge hose is plumbed in. I think you saw that in the last video, though. In fact, I used that again today. I pumped a little bit out of there to get that tank as empty as I could get it, so I could get those sensors in there. And the sensors that I'm using are just like recreational. They're from RecPro. This is the monitor system here. Not real expensive, and I don't know. I guess they work all right. It's got a little more than I probably need: water pump, water heater, an electric and gas water heater. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I'll give a little more thought to that and start deciding where I need to cut hatches through there.